Hawk migration data for fall 2020 and 2021 for Hawk Ridge, Minnesota. My name is Alana Headley. I am a psychology major from Queens, New York.
My name is Lauren Hunter. I'm a biochemistry major from Richmond, Virginia.
My name is Tristine Findlator. I'm a first-year biochemistry major from St. Paul, Minnesota. Our last member is Jalen Lambert. He's a pharmaceutical major from Texas.
Lake Superior is a natural barrier for migratory birds of prey coming south from Canada. Rather than cross the lake, birds of prey follow the coast south. Between the bluffs of the Duluth complex on one side and the coastline on the other side, the raptors are funneled south until close to Duluth. Here at Hawk Ridge, the concentration of migratory birds crosses the ridge and continue their migration. Here are the usual peaks for major bird species. Eagles peak around March 25th with up to 400 to 500 birds a day. Red-legged hogs peak around April 10th through April 20th with up to 75 a day. Red-tailed hogs peak around April 10th to April 20th with 1,000 to 2,000 birds a day. Broad-winged hogs peak around May 1st to the 10th with up to 3,400 birds a day. Sharp-shinned hogs peak around April 10th with up to 450 birds a day. Hawk Ridge has one of North America's longest annual records of raptor counting and banding. Since 1972, a total of 40 years have passed. It also has the greatest number of raptor counts and banding rates in North America, with over 60,000 raptors counted and 2,500 banded every year on average.
For the graphs, we chose the months August and October because they had the most consistent data observations for all the months we observed. For the months of August, we chose to use a pie chart to show the percentage of birds observed, which will tell us how frequent a specific bird appeared. And for October, we chose to use a bar graph. Even though you can't see it that good, it shows how many birds were observed for each one. Our explanation for these statistics is that for August 2020, 7 birds appear frequently, with broad-winged hawk being 61.6% of observations for the month of August in 2020. Also, birds usually appear more frequently with high wind speeds up to 13 to 16 miles per hour. For August 2021, only 4 birds appear frequently, with northern heron and bald eagle appearing the most, make up 33.3% of the graph each, to be the most frequent. But most of the observations come at the last 2 days of the month. For October 2020, the total for the first 10 days of October 2020 had little to no change except for October 1st and October 9th. The first and the 9th day had the highest amount of bird sightings total. Looking at the data, the weather doesn't seem to have a huge impact on the amount of birds sighted. The weather for October 2021 did not change much, but the number of birds didn't reach up the amount that was recorded on the 1st and 9th. The birds sighted the most were the turkey vulture and the sharp-shinned hawk.
Throughout the duration of months August and October, the weather did not change by much. The chart in the upper left corner is August of 2020, in the upper right is August of 2021, the lower left is October of 2020, and the lower right is October of 2021. Throughout all 4 charts, the only section that caused somewhat of a difference was the cloud cover. The miles per hour would only change by a few numbers, and there was only a big difference in precipitation in October of 2021. The cloud cover would change tremendously throughout all 4 months, where it would drop from 100 to 0 or 0 to 100. There was even a big example in October of 2021 where it was at some point, I think, 80%, and then it dropped to 2%, stayed at 0%, and then spiked back up at some point. We think this is due to the time of the year, the seasons changing, and the migration throughout the birds moving throughout the state.
At the end of the project, we came to find out there were less birds in 2021 than there were in 2020. Some of the reasons were due to migration, the weather conditions, and more people going outside after COVID. The factor that caused the most change was the weather condition. The change of weather caused a noticeable difference in the migration of birds, despite it not being too drastic. The amount of birds also slightly varied day to day due to things reopening after COVID. The Hawk Count website, as well as Wikipedia and Hawk Ridge, were helpful in completing this research. We used it to see not just the daily migration rates of the birds, but also the weather. After that, we used Excel to synthesize our data.